power is shifting. The world isn't what it was 20 years ago. But have you ever stopped to think about who really runs the world? What happens when no single country is in control? Today, we dive into the rise and fall of global superpowers and why we might be entering the most unpredictable era in history. All right, let's talk about power. Not the kind that makes your phone charge faster, but the kind that decides who gets to make the rules on a global scale. In geopolitics, polarity is just a fancy way of saying who's in charge, and historically that's changed a lot. Sometimes there's one big boss, unipolarity. Sometimes there's a dramatic two-player rivalry, bipolarity. And sometimes it's just pure chaos with multiple powers competing at once, multipolarity. Think of it like high school cliques, but with nuclear weapons. After the Cold War ended, the US had a solid run as the world's only true superpower, controlling the narrative, setting economic trends, and making the rules of engagement. But as with every dominant empire in history, cracks started to form. When you're on top for too long, other nations start scheming ways to pull you back down, whether through military expansion, economic competition, or just flexing on the world stage. That's where bipolarity comes in. The classic US versus USSR showdown during the Cold War, where each side built massive alliances, funded proxy wars, and basically played an extended game of who blinks first with nukes. It was predictable, intense, and extremely expensive, so much so that one side, hint not the US, eventually collapsed under its own weight. But now, we're entering an era that's way less predictable. Multipolarity. It's like a group project where nobody agrees on the direction, but everyone still wants an A. China's on the rise, Russia's making moves, Europe wants to stay relevant, and regional powers like India and Brazil are stepping up. The problem? More power centers mean more shifting alliances, more unpredictability, and more risk of conflict. Just look at history. Multipolarity has led to some of the biggest global meltdowns, like World War I. And now, with technology, cyber warfare, and economic battles in the mix, geopolitics is less like chess and more like a game of four-dimensional Uno, where every move can have wild consequences. So what's next? Will China fully challenge the US, creating a new Cold War? Will regional alliances take over, breaking the world into competing economic blocs? Or will the future of power be shaped by new threats like AI, climate disasters, and cyber warfare? I'll leave you to discuss in the comments. Who do you think will dominate the future? Support us by subscribing if you haven't already. Take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and I'll catch you soon in another video.